Hallo und herzlich willkommen zum ersten Individuum oder zweiten, je nachdem, was ihr zuerst angeschaut habt. Wir waren bei Blick, bei State of Mind zu Besuch und hatten den ersten Einblick in echtes Gameplay und der Entwickler hat uns so einiges erklärt und es ist relativ erstaunlich, wie komplex die Story eigentlich dahinter ist. Am besten schaut ihr euch das selbst an und wir finden es eigentlich echt interessant.
My heart is on fire, my strength in vain. I'm no more inspired to live pain again. I feel waves of tears crashing over my chest. Breathless, I fall to the ground. Now what do, 'cause reality cut me like a knife. But now I do. No, I do, 'cause reality cut me like a knife. But now I do. I thought only money could make my day. I did not have any time to bow down and pray. Now I need to gather all my strength and struggle again. The length of the time. Now I do, 'cause reality cut me like a knife. But now I do.
As I can. Hello everybody, very nice to see you on this beautiful day. A brief thing about myself, my name is Martin Gantefer. I've been developing games for 20 years actually, and my focus is on narrative-driven games. I used to be a million years ago the CEO and creative director of a studio called House of Tales Entertainment. House of Tales specialized in adventure games and did so well-known adventure titles like Overclocked and The Moment of Silence. State of Mind, I came up with this scene when I read a book by Ray Kurzweil. Ray Kurzweil is, if you don't know the guy, he's a transhumanist and artificial intelligence scientist. And 2 years ago, this guy joined Google as their director of engineering. And we have a Google employee here. It's a pleasure to have you here. Jan. Ray Kurzweil is director of engineering at Google. He's a transhumanist, and one of his predictions is that, or one of the transhumanist beliefs is that technology is developing at exponential pace. And this exponential pace will lead to a point very soon where machine intelligence surpasses the level of human intelligence. And now Ray Kurzweil also predicts that in the 2040s, that is not so far away actually, we will be able to upload our minds to somewhere. And it sounds super incredible to me, crazy, but the director of Google engineering says it. You know, not me. I'm weird, I'm insane, but he is sane because he works at Google. And for me, For me, that was the starting point to say, okay, upload our minds. Given if we take that as a possibility, then what if something goes wrong? What if something goes wrong? And that's how my story pretty much started, because I came up with a character, Richard Nolan, journalist, in the future, 2048, not so far away. And Richard is a guy who finds out that he has been subjected to a mind upload, but the upload went wrong. And as a result of that, and this is where things get complicated, he kind of exists in two different worlds. He exists as a damaged individual still in real life reality, but another instance of him, parts, shards, fragments of that broken upload exists in a second character in a virtual space. So this is the stuff in a nutshell. And let me briefly show you this very much under construction sequence that may bring us a little bit closer to the character, not him. He's not Richard. He is Richard. Richard, in his 40s, journalist, and this man is in a certain state of mind, as you may imagine, and I can tell you he's not exactly feeling well. So what we see here, he's at a, I don't know, what is this? What happened here? An accident maybe, plane crash, terrorist attack, something of the kind, all the bad things. We don't know, he doesn't know, and that is important. He does not know, that is his state of mind. He has lost a lot of his memory, of his personality, if you will, of his identity. But he has flashbacks. You see, he works for somebody, The Voice, a media conglomerate. But he's a journalist. And let me tell you, he's a technophobic journalist. He's a Luddite, a machine breaker. He hates technology, He wants to go back to the old days where things were easier to understand. Those people exist, I think, but we learn more about him. Let's have another flashback of his life. Oh, look, he has a wife. He's proposing to her. He has a wife. Hey, didn't that girl look different before? Wait, he has a son. Son seems to be important. Family is an important matter for this guy. So, a man with problems, loss of memory, problems with the family as it seems. Keep in mind that he has been uploaded, but he will only find that out later in the game. I must tell you the story in, a back and forth jumping manner a little bit. Waking up in a hospital, this is in first person, just to show you a very easy cognition test on waking up in the game, dystopian future doctor, hello. Let me ask you a couple of questions, and can you focus before I switch on your augmented reality vision again? Let me focus this. I need to focus this to get clear vision again, which I'm always failing at. So, Richard performs a couple of cognition tests, but then he is being sent home. So let's go home with the guy. Richard lives in a lovely apartment, and he has a good night's sleep. And on waking up, he realizes my family, they were not there when I returned, and they're still not there. It seems like they're not coming back. Where are they? They are gone. They're gone. But my wife, Tracy, has left me this beautiful Android. a humanoid android type of person. And remember, Richard is a Luddite. He hates technology. He hates everything artificial. He hates robots. He believes in humans, you know? That is his point of view. And so it must be an unfriendly act of his wife to have left this android. Actually, well, I can certainly talk to this guy and insult him a little bit, tell him that I hate him. And he knows a couple of things about my wife. For instance, yeah, she said that she was going to visit her parents-in-law over the weekend, but well, this is not true. This is actually not true. So let's take an inventory object to show you how to interact with the game. We have hotspots in the game, and you can actually also trigger dialogues through interacting with hotspots. I find hotspots quite boring as, you know, informational devices. Oh, this is a chessboard. But I do find them interesting to propel the story forward. In terms of the robot can say, hey, I played chess with your son and he's adorable and he's a great chess player. And Richard can say, I hate you and what do you know about adorable? You're a fucking robot. Right. Now, another thing that I would like to introduce in this game is this absolutely unfinished menu of a cloud call system. In the future, and I think Microsoft is developing this right now, or has been developing it, there will be, you know, calls per telepresence, so that you can project yourself into the room where the person that you want to talk with is actually in. And now let's make a call. Let's call Richard's father-in-law. Remember, he's looking for his family and looking for his memory. And so, hey, father-in-law, where's your daughter? She's my wife. Where is she? Is she at your place? No. Richard, I'm sorry. And I hope she has finally left you, because she deserves better and you're an asshole. Oh shit. It seems like father-in-law is not the kindest person, but maybe Richard is not the kindest person. We don't know. Richard is on a search for his broken mind and his broken family, and he wants to find out what has happened in his life. And now, while the two are arguing, I need to take a deep breath and tell you a little bit about what's central in this story. He comes in touch with actual machine breakers, people who are opposed to Jan Schneider and Google, and who actually say, well, they're doing scary things. We're about to find out that they're developing secret virtual type of worlds there. We need to destroy that. We need to attack that. And Richard, who is a Luddite but not a terrorist, gets into touch with those people, finds out that he has been used for an upload, and that an instance of him exists in virtual space. Another broken man, and that man is called Adam. And let us briefly look at Adam while I tell you why this is important. So there is a second virtual type of reality in this game, and there's another character, but he's not called Richard, he's called Adam, and he exists, he has the same problem that Richard has, if you will, because it's been a broken upload. He also has a doctor there who he has to talk to, but his world is much better. It's a city called City 5, and Adam, look at him, looks a little bit naive. He believes this world to be real, to be very real. It's his world, he has a family, it's his world, and now I told you about that cloud call thing. That I briefly showed it to you. Richard finds a way with the help of the machine-breaking terrorist type of people, he finds a way to get in touch with this guy, Adam, and to tell him about their shared fate. And if you would get a phone call, somebody telling you, hey, you're not actually real and your world is fake, you would probably hang up the phone and say, fuck off, never call me again. And this is what happens. But Richard actually has a reason. He says, okay, I need to put myself back together again, and I have a feeling that parts of me are missing. And you're up there. Maybe is my family also up there? It could be. I want all that back. I'm a man on a mission to put myself back together. And so he tries to convince Adam that they have a shared past. And to do that, I can show it now, but I assure you it exists. Richard gets access to a database of information on his past. Like, you know, if all our lives were recorded all day, which I certainly cannot imagine to happen because, how would that be possible? So if it were possible and you had information to a database like that, and you could look at your own life and you could upload it maybe to somewhere else if you ever had to convince someone that they have a shared life with you. Well, that's what Richard does. He uploads fragments of his past to Adam to convince him, look at it, we're putting us together here. This is our shared life. Do you believe me? Well, at some point Adam does believe it, but he says, now that I see your life, now that I see who you are, you have an affair, you're cheating on your wife, you hate your son, you're against technology, you live in a world that sucks. I don't want to be you anymore. I want to be myself. So it's an act of liberation, if you will, for a virtual character, and I think an interesting thing to discuss. And now, late again, I know, Ralf Kessler will shoot me. Thank you very much for your time. Lovely. Thanks. Yeah, I should have solved that puzzle quicker. Let's just take a look at the dystopian Berlin, and will you allow me some closing thoughts because my time is up. State of Mind is an incredibly complicated story, as you will have gotten a grasp of by it now. And I'll tell you what, State of Mind is a story about a state of mind, and that state of mind is my past is missing, I don't know what's going on, I need to put myself back together, and how do I do this? The whole game that has 3 story layers, a dystopian Berlin, a utopian City 5, and a layer of, the past, biographical fragments. It is a puzzle, if you will, that needs to be put back together. But that is exactly what Richard needs to do. Put himself back together, and that is the state of mind that I want the players to experience. This whole story is the central puzzle of the game, and you need to put it back together. Like, you need to put this man back together, because he's torn in two, and the world is torn in two. Berlin is a city that has been a divided city, so the theme of separation and of reunification is permeates throughout the game, I think, and I hope. And I hope the look supports it as well, this sharded look that is being reflected in the logo of the game. It's shards, but it needs putting back together. So, I did not mention that as soon as you unlock this virtual world, get access to this virtual character, you'll be able to switch back and forth between them freely to some extent. At some point you cannot freely switch anymore because the story needs to progress, But for much of the game, you will have that switching back and forth that will give you freedom and experience of both worlds.
Right. Final thing, why do I think this is important?
Much of this sounds like voodoo, brain upload. What does it mean? At the end of the game, this all becomes very important. Who am I? In what body am I? What happens to my material body when I'm being uploaded? That type of thing. I think it's questions that if we believe people like Ray Kurzweil that technology is developing at that pace, then it's certainly going to have consequences on all levels, and it will affect how we think about ourselves as humans, who we are. Will we be immortal? What will we look like? Do sex, gender, location, age, does anything matter? And wouldn't it be great to be immortal? Wouldn't it be great to upload yourself to somewhere else? Why would it not be? I think I don't have answers to that, but the game asks the question, and I think the question is not one that should be asked in games, but that everyone in society should be discussing right now, because this stuff is happening. It's happening in Silicon Valley, and it's something that will, well, influence our lives, our real lives, not our escapist entertainment product lives, but our actual real lives while they're still there.
Right.
Questions.
My heart is on fire, my strength in vain. I'm no more inspired to live pain again. I feel waves of tears crashing over my chest. Breathless, I fall to the ground. Now what do? 'Cause reality cut me like a knife. But now I do. Now I do, 'cause reality cut me like a knife. But now I do. I thought only money could make my day. I did not have any time to bow down and pray. Now I need to gather all my strength and struggle again. The length of the time. Now I do, 'cause reality cut me like a knife. But now I do. Now I do, 'cause reality cut me like a knife.